So thank you for watching. First of all, I would like to thank those who's actually subscribed to the channel. So we are actually hit 23 subscriber. Okay. So I wish you all the best in your studies. Okay. Do share our content to your friend if you find it helpful. Leave us a like and subscribe to the channel. So for those that is new here, there's a quick link in the comment section where you can skip to your desired question. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started. So for question 1, it is very straightforward. All you need to do is to find the total ratio first. Then just take the entertainment, which is 8 over total times 100% to find the answer. For the following one, all you need to do is just take 5,635 multiply by 17 over total of 35. Then you'll be able to find the answer. For question C, you are required to work it back, so the formula goes by capital times 102.42% to the power of 5, because it says 5 years ago, equals to the amount of 5,635. So you do the shifting, then you'll be able to get the capital. So for the next one, it's very straightforward. Just take 2 times the adult price and 3 times the child price. The last part is very straightforward. All you need to do is just take 130 rupees, multiply by the conversion of 0.0152 to get the final answer. However, the tricky part will be correct to the nearest cent. So you're required to round up the 7 into 8. So for question 2, it is pretty straightforward, so I won't do any voiceover for this part. So for question 3, all you need to do for the first one is to fill up the x position with 0, 1 and 2 to find the final results. Okay, so plot down the points and draw out the graph. Okay. Question C. Okay, so all you need to do is to take note that the question is actually asking for y equals to 3.5. So you draw out from the line. So when it's 3.5, what's the result of x? Okay. The harder part of this question is question D. You're required to shift those that are excess or those that's not relevant to the original line to the other side. Then you'll be able to identify that y equals to 1.5 to the power of x minus 1 also equals to x plus 1. So you set 2 points and draw out the line. The answer will be the intersection of these two lines that you have drawn. For the next question, first you need to plot out point A, okay? Then with that, you draw a tangent, then choose any 2 points to find the gradient. So question 4. The tricky part about this question is you actually need to know that the total probability is actually 1. Okay, so if you add up everything, it will be equals to 1. So 2x equals to 1 minus the balance and divide by 2 to get the final answer. As for part B, you need to take note that the spinner was only spin once. All you need to do is to add up the probability. So for question C, the first part is asking that both numbers is true. Okay, so all you need to do is just take 1 over 4 times 1 over 4 to get the final results. Whereby for part 2, the sum of the numbers is 3. So remember that I mentioned before, sequence matters. So it can be 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1. Okay, so you're required to multiply the 1 over 4 times 1 over 6 by 2. Whereby for the last one, just take 72 multiplied by the probability of getting 1 to get the final answer. So for the next question, all you need to do is to do the factorizing. So I've actually shown you how to do it, then you'll be able to get the answer. So for part B, the way that I usually solve this type of question is to arrange or simplify one side first into a single fraction before doing the cross multiple. So be extra careful when approaching this type of question, then you will be fine. As for part 2, you are required to substitute it into the formula to run the calculation. For question 6, okay, so the first one will be the Z rule. So angle EHF will be equals to GFH. So X is actually 27. Okay, whereby next one, all you need to do is just to write it down and compare. Do your cross multiple to find the final results of EZ. Whereby for part B, okay, so the first thing you need to know that OA, OB, OC and OD, they are all the same because they are the radius, okay, and the fact that AB equals to BC makes every single angle is 52. So for you to find AOB, all you need to do is check 180 minus 52 twice. So you get 76. Same goes for BOC, and then you'll be able to identify DOC as 28. So the question is asking for ADC. All you need to do is just take 180 minus 28, divide by 2 to get the final results. Part C. Okay, so first thing first, you're required to take note that angle CQP is actually equals to 90 minus 63. Then you will get 27. Okay. Then there's also one more rules that you need to take note. So S to Q is actually the diameter. So any angle that was drawn out from the diameter will be equals to 90 degree. Hence, SPQ is actually 90. So, angle SQP will be actually equals to QSR because it is perpendicular to the radius. Okay, as mentioned earlier, 90 minus 63, you get 27. As for the last question, the key part about this assessment is actually the term not to scale. So it may not look like a rectangle. However, if all four sides is 90 degree, then it fulfills the requirements of becoming a rectangle. For question 7, first thing you need to do is to calculate the midpoint, then multiply the midpoint to their respective frequency, find the total, divide by 400 people that was given by the question to calculate the mean. As for the next one, just add them up together, then you will get 400. So with the data, you now are able to fill up the graph. So for median, it stands for 50%. So 400 multiplied by 50%, you will find 200 people. So from the 200 people, you draw it down, then you'll be able to find the time. Whereby for interquartile range, all you need to do is take 75%, which is 300 people, and 25%, which is 100 people. Find the value of the time, then minus each other to find the final results. Whereby for 60th percentile, it means by taking 400 multiplied by 60% to find 240. Okay, then from the 240 people, you will be able to identify the minute. So for question 8, the first thing that you're required to do is to find xy. So with that being said, with one angle and two sides given, then you're able to use cosine rule to find xy. Run the calculation and get the final answer. Whereby for the next one, you're required to find TZ. So with sine rule, then you'll be able to find the final results. The tougher question about this question is actually in part B. So first thing you're required to take note that the perimeter was given. So when it is not a full circle and it is only a sector, you are required to add 2 radius. So in my case, I set the radius as an unknown r. Okay. So the total angle is actually 195. Simply take 65 times 3. Okay. So 195 divided by 360 times 2 pi r plus 2r. So students usually make mistakes when doing this because they left out the perimeter, which is 2r. Okay. So run the calculation, then you'll be able to find the final results.
I'm sorry, but letters on a glass wall, but words hidden from other people. One touching mess.
For question 9, write down 2 more inequalities. So the first hint that was given is less than 10 packets of seed, which shows that X will be actually less than 10, and at least 2 plants stands for Y more than equals to 2. Whereby for the last inequalities, it will be the seed cost is 1 and the plant cost is 3. So 1x plus 3y less than equals to 25, because it states that maximum amount. Okay, then you'll be able to get the results of x plus 3y less than equals to 21. Now, with the 3 inequalities that was given, you're able to draw out the graph to find the ratio. Okay. So for x plus 3y less than equals to 21, you're required to set 2 points so that you can draw out the lines. So I've actually draw and labeled the direction the question wants. So the small triangle over there will actually be the required region. So every part with the star, you're required to shade it. So find the maximum numbers of plants he can buy. So we'll look at y-axis. The top part will be 4 only. And then find the total cost of these packets of seeds and plant. So the hint has actually been given in the question. So Bernie will buy 8 packets of seed. So X is actually 8. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 3 to the maximum, which is 4. 3 times 4, you get 12. So 8 plus 12, you get 20. So for the last question, first thing first, you're required to calculate the interior angle of this hexagon. So hexagon has actually 6 sides. So 6 minus 2 multiplied by 180, you'll be able to find the total interior angle. Then you're required to divide by 6 to find the value of each angle. Okay. For the next question, we are required to utilize the information that was given by the previous question, whereby FAB is actually 120 degrees. With that being said, then you'll be able to run your cosine rule calculation, because AP and AQ is actually the same. As for the following question, when I approach this kind of question, I usually recommend students to draw it out to have a better understanding on which part the question is asking. So after I draw out everything, I'll be able to identify that PG is actually equals to HS and GH is equals to FE. So first I use this cosine angle FPG to find the value of PG first, okay? Then I just add 3 of them up and get the final result of 20 minus x. So for part B, okay, this is actually require a lot of thinking. So you're required to take note that for a square, the sides is actually the same. But for the previous question we gotten is actually different because x square root 3 is the width and 20 minus x is the length. So if you set them both equals to each other, then you'll be able to find the scale factor. So with that being said, you'll be able to identify that if both of them are the same, the x value will actually be 7.32. So with this 7.32, substitute it back into the question. Okay, then you'll be able to identify each side's value, which is 12.68. For last question, the way they phrase the question is also very tricky. So for the term, please add 1 day to the day number. Okay, it's referring to the top, whereby send this text to 2 friends is referring to the bottom part. So it's actually hinting you that you just multiply the value of Tuesday by 2, and for you to get Thursday, you just multiply the value of Wednesday by 2. Okay, so for Wednesday results, it is not 6 or 9 either. So write down an expression for the numbers text message sent on day number n. So for you to do this, you'll be able to identify that just take 2 to the power of day number to get the final results. So C required you to prove it. Okay, so you just run the calculation. 2 to the power of 4 minus 2 is actually 14. So just add the value of 3 days together. It's actually equals to 14 as well. For the next question, the total message sent on the end of day number 5. So the same way as you solved the previous question, add up all 5 days together, then you get 62. Then substitute the value into the formula 2k minus 2 equals to 62. Run the calculation, you will get 2 to the power of k equals to 64. So 2 to the power of k equals to 2 to the power of 6. K is actually 6. As for the last question, write down an expression for the total numbers of text messages sent by the end of day number n. So simply just add 1, okay, to the power, then you'll be able to get the answer. Then with the formula that was given, substitute into the last part, run the calculation, then you'll be able to find the answer as n is 9.